Anyone who has ever watched motorsports racing has seen the beneficial effects of slipstreaming. We watch as a contender maneuvers up closely behind a competitor in front of them, only to emerge just before the finish line to take the lead and victory. In fact, a slipstream may be defined as an assisting force regarded as drawing something along behind something else. Turbulence, on the other hand, may be defined as violent or unsteady movement of air or water or of some other fluid. This is what we encounter when we approach the rear of a semi-truck rig on the highway that isn't equipped with a set of those deployable wings. Many rigs now have these on the back of their trailers to increase fuel efficiency via a reduction in aerodynamic drag. Motorcyclists can attest to the unstable nature of the air behind a rig without these. Their head is buffeted so violently that vision is blurred, leading to diminished control. When behind a rig equipped with the wings, things are smooth. Turbulence may also be defined as conflict or confusion. This is what we will experience as we move our guests through the F&I process without a set of our own wings. Consider, for example, how we react when, as we are attempting to move our guests through the process, things don't go as planned. As always, we conduct ourselves as the professional guide, helping them through the finalization of their vehicle acquisition. That's the plan, at least. But let's look at some detours that may pop up and how to get back on track. Normally, we are wisely first presenting ancillary documents before introducing our menu. We are doing that, aren't we? This ensures our guest isn't immediately slapped with another sales request and allows them to take mental ownership. We are creating positive momentum. Then the rotors get warped. Suddenly, our guest stops us in our tracks. Whoa! I'm not signing any of that until I know what my payments and interest rate are. It is at this point early in the process that many business managers quickly relent, diverting from their plan, and compromise all credibility in doing so. After all, if we can so easily be deterred from our mission, what are we essentially indicating regarding its merits? Not only have we now run off the road, we have crashed into the proverbial oak tree on the road's edge. Perhaps instead, we might respond to the initial objection with the segue, folks, I totally understand. These are just ancillary housekeeping documents and mandatory disclosures, none of which are going to obligate you to buy the vehicle until everything is reviewed and agreeable. If you'll allow me to continue, I believe it will all make sense in a minute. That's it. Stay on track. When we do get to the menu, we are presenting it in tandem with the buyer's order. Aren't we? Folks, these are probably the two most important documents that we're going to review today. So let's take a look and ensure that I have everything on here correctly. This simultaneous review of both documents keeps things flowing and ensures our guests are confident that we have the numbers accurately listed in the header/mandatory disclosure. Then, once we have presented our menu, we are making a column recommendation, aren't we? This, of course, is the option most appropriate to their circumstances. At this point, the first menu objection is tabled. Our guest states, "Oh no, I can't possibly afford that." We will now segue to, "Mary, I've got great news. This payment here?" Stated while referencing the payment beneath the column we have just recommended as most appropriate in her case. That's everything. That's your new vehicle and taking advantage of everything we talked about here. We have made this clarification to avoid the confusion that seems to be present approximately 25% of the time. We have all worked with plenty of folks who think it's the column payment plus the base payment in the header. Don't leave this unaddressed. If we assume all of our guests who don't do this every day and who are already stressed out know this, we are making a mistake. Our guests may then state, "Oh, sure, I understand that, but the payment is simply too high." From here, we will segue with, "Folks, you, like me, I'm sure would agree this top piece, the full mechanical coverage, the one everybody refers to as bumper to bumper, that I'm not really allowed to call it that because the bumpers aren't covered. This piece is the most important in the whole matrix, wouldn't you agree? If they say yes, we will transition to rationalizing the rest of the column's products. For example, we will reasonably review the fact that since their new vehicle is equipped with a pricey set of those factory 22-inch wheels, the tire and wheel coverage is definitely warranted. The response to the VSC inquiry may, however, be, no, we didn't have one on our old vehicle and we didn't need it. At this point, we will segue to, I'm glad you didn't have one last time, because it would have been an obvious waste of money. But who would have thought back then that we'd be sitting here now, just a couple of years later, talking about the very real possibility that the touchscreen radio alone in your new vehicle could easily be $2,500 to $3,500 just for the parts. And we're at $140 an hour labor rate. Have you ever seen how much time goes into just getting to the radio? Frequently, by the time the airbag is carefully removed from the steering wheel is removed, the shroud from around the steering column is removed, the front seats are removed. Heck, there ends up being what seems like half of your vehicle in the bay next to it. Then, hopefully, they are ready to remove the dash. Once all of that is done, they should be able to get to your radio. And this is one of over 5,000 components on a typical vehicle. From here, we might address what the payment would be with them only taking advantage of the VSC and whatever other must-haves they are identifying. These are only a few examples of Segue usage. The bottom line here is to keep things moving forward via fluid transitions while avoiding conflict, and provide our guests with a positive, interactive experience. We will plan our work and work our plan. Be the professional. Think about it. Good luck and good selling.